thousand unique local languages and sacred culture you never imagined. That derives more wonders across Indonesia archipelago. All of this magical and uniqueness become Indonesia's strength and protected by a sacred manifesto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Indonesia is the next G20 presidency in 2022. We welcome you to be prepared for a lifetime magical experience.
Highlighting the importance of efforts relating to gender equality and G20's commitment to women's empowerment. G20 Empower was launched in Japan during the 2019 summit. In the 2020 G20 Saudi presidency, Empower focused on realizing opportunities of the 21st century for all. Following that, in the Italian presidency in 2021, Empower focused on people, planet, and prosperity. Through the years, the Alliance has built a network of over 400 advocates consisting of CEOs or heads of foundations and associations to support the advancement of women as business leaders. The G20 presidency in 2022, Indonesia's vision is to focus on an inclusive global recovery after the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's do our best in 2022 to recover together, recover stronger, through the advancement of women in leadership roles.
Indonesia, a paradise of 1,000 islands, formed by the creator of the universe. Blessed with natural resources to protect and preserve its magical and unique habitats. 1,000 unique local languages and sacred culture you never imagined. That derives more wonders across Indonesia archipelago. All of this magical and uniqueness become Indonesia's strength and protected by a sacred manifesto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Indonesia is the next G20 presidency in 2022. We welcome you to be prepared for a lifetime magical experience.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to G20 Women's Empowerment Kickoff Meeting. To all participants, kindly stand by. We will begin our event momentarily.
Dilo, Sindelas Cumbres South Africa. Sosolosa, Kule Santaba, Sindelas Cumbres South Africa. Sosolosa, Kule Santaba, Sindelas South Africa. I'm an orphan who started alone. The girl became a woman on the long and dusty road. I'm a child in I saw the I am Australian, we are one, but we are ready, and from all the lands on earth we come, we'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to G20 Women's Empowerment Kickoff Meeting 2021. Apology for the technical glitch, but I promise you we will have an insightful, resourceful, and inspirational event for G20 Women's Empowerment Kickoff Meeting. Recover together, recover stronger. Good afternoon from Jakarta, Indonesia. My name is Andini Effendi. I will be your host for this event. It is an absolute honor for me to host this event and allow me to welcome our honorable guests. Her Excellency Gusti Ayu Bintang Darmawati, Minister of Women Empowerment and Child Protection of the Republic of Indonesia. Her Excellency Retno LP Marsudi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. Her Excellency Sri Mulyani Indrawati, Minister of Finance of the Republic of Indonesia. Madam Yesi De Yosetya, Chair of G20 Empowerment Initiative. Madam Rinawati Prihatiningsi, Co-Chair of G20 Empower Initiative. Madam Eko Novi Arianti, Government Representative of G20 Empower Initiative. Madam Uli Silalahi, Chairwoman 20. Madam Dian Siswarini, Co-Chair Women 20. And all of you delegates, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. To begin this event, I would like to ask all of you to all rise as we will sing our national anthem. You may all be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch this series of activities that have been implemented by W20 and G20 2021.
Hadirin yang saya hormati, pengalaman Indonesia juga menunjukkan bahwa akses perempuan untuk ekonomi digital memerlukan 3 prasyarat dasar.
Perempuan dan anak adalah kekuatan bangsa yang perlu disejahterakan dan dimaksimalkan potensinya. Perempuan mengisi setengah dari populasi Indonesia, sementara anak mengisi sepertiganya. Kesehatan perempuan memang tidak dapat dipisahkan dengan kesehatan anak, karena perempuanlah yang mengandung dan menyusui anak.
The sea of change, we have always overcome hand in hand. We cover together, we'll recover stronger. Reaching out for a change.
Pertama, pemerataan infrastruktur digital sehingga memudahkan akses jasa keuangan dalam ekonomi digital bagi perempuan. Kedua, literasi digital sehingga perempuan mampu memanfaatkan teknologi digital dengan baik, terutama untuk kegiatan produktif. Ketiga, memperbanyak pelatihan-pelatihan dan pengembangan keterampilan perempuan dalam kewirausahaan untuk kemajuan, perlindungan, dan pemberdayaan perempuan di kawasan Asia. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Semoga Tuhan
Indonesia membutuhkan makin banyak perempuan-perempuan pengusaha kalau kita ingin ekonomi kita maju.
Ladies and gentlemen, today in Indonesia, 22nd of December is a very special day as we are celebrating our Mother's Day. And today marks the important pathway for women's empowerment in Indonesia. To begin the event, joining us, Minister of Women Empowerment and Child Protection of the Republic of Indonesia, Her Excellency I Gusti Ayu Bintang Darmawati, to deliver her opening remarks. Ibu Bintang, the screen is yours.
Her Excellency Mrs. Retno Marsudi, Foreign Minister of the Republic of Indonesia, Her Excellency Mrs. Sri Mulyani, Finance Minister of the Republic of Indonesia, Excellencies G20 Minister in charge of Women Empowerment, Chair and Co-Chair of G20 Sherpa Track, Finance Track, Working Group, Engagement Group, and Alliance, Excellency, Ambassador, and their representative of international agencies and civil society organizations, representative of ministry or agencies, regional government, private sector, and academia, G20 Empower Advocates, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and greeting from Yogyakarta. May God the Almighty bestow health and peace upon us all. Allow me to welcome everyone to the G20 Women Empowerment Kickoff. Today marks the 93rd Indonesia Women's Day, a historical women movement which started in 1928 in the city of Yogyakarta. We believe discussion on the role and leadership of women in development, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, through the G20 will create expansive global effect. The Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection, as the mother ministry for G20 women issues, is honored the path of Women 20 and G20 Empower. Engagement and role of women and marginal group is the main focus of Indonesia's G20 leadership. We believe that through this global cooperation, challenges faced by women, particularly in COVID-19 recovery, will be eased through the involvement of government, regional government, private sector, international agencies, CSO, academia, and related stakeholders. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with 270.2 million people, Indonesia is the world's fourth largest population, half of which are women and 56% of them are in productive age. Women have large potential in supporting economic growth, for which we need to expand and support through the G20 framework. UN Women report on the cause of COVID-19 illustrate women whose family income rely on family business suffered up to 82% cutback. Further, women are touched with unfit care during the pandemic. Domestic issues and professional capacity increased among both men and women. Men and women were 69% women and 61% men were infected by unpaid domestic work. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, underscoring the vast issues through G20 and along with Indonesia presidency's term, Recover Together, Recover Stronger, we believe the agendas on strengthening the role of women, particularly during the COVID-19 recovery process, can be further explored so as to contribute to the strategic development and global policy in line with Brisbane goal and national policies. G20 thus to group the discussed ways to strengthen women's position and gender equality, namely G20 Empower, a government and private sector alliance, and Women 20 an engagement group. Indonesia has decided the working term of each group. G20 Empower highlights three key terms, including the accountability of company key performance indicators to support women leadership and strengthening their position in the workforce, how the private sector and government can continuously encourage women's role in small, medium enterprises as the drivers of our economy, and building women preparedness in the future of digital economy. Throughout 2021, G20 Empower has carried out several activities nationally, such as conducting webinar series to promote the importance of women's role in the private sector and workplace, and has recruited approximately 50 Indonesian CEOs or senior director as G20 Empower advocates. G20 Empower advocates are expected to focalize and develop the program, system, and policies related to equality and opportunity for all women in the workplace, and also can contribute widely in community and society. Ladies and gentlemen, meanwhile, Women 24 four main issues, namely reducing discrimination and violence, to further encourage women involvement in the economy, boosting inclusive economy and growth by supporting women-owned SMEs, building social resilience, especially for women and children in rural area and people at disability, also being gender responsive in the responding to healthcare issue. Excellencies, the challenges faced by women in the future are quite a few and complex. With the continued development of the 4.0 technology, providing equal opportunities for women in the private sector and workplace is of significant importance. And significant importance, we should strive to find solution to improve women capacity. Through the G20 for aiming at enhancing women participation and role in the global and domestic society, we believe women empowerment issues will be further improved to enhance and strengthen their bargaining position and the society. We will continue Italy in the initiative and are committed to hold the ministerial meeting on women empowerment on Indonesia's presidency 2022 in Bali. I believe that Indonesia's G20 presidency will generate real action through enhanced recommendation, regulation, and sharing best practices through collaboration while simultaneously raising collective commitment for promoting equality and improving women's strategic position. When women are empowered and children are protected, social welfare will be achieved. In conclusion, we invite excellencies, madams, and sirs, the visit Indonesia to attend G20 related meeting while enjoying Indonesia hospitality and culture. In closing, allow me to express my appreciation for all the participants supporting the kick-off meeting this afternoon. Welcome to Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Bintang. Please kindly proceed to the kickoff meeting venue. Ibu Bintang will be accompanied by Mr. Pri Budiarta Nursitepu, Permanent Secretary, Madam Leni N. Rosalin, Deputy Minister for Gender Equality, and Mr. Indra Gunawan, Acting Deputy Minister for Civil Society Participation. Ibu Bintang, on my count, and then you can start to kick off the meeting. Okay, Ibu, on my count. 3, 2, 1. Silakan. Congratulations, Indonesia's presidency in G20, Empower, and W20. It is officially launched. We hope to inspire all of us. And now I would like to invite you for a photo session. please turn on your camera and put your hands together for a W sign, W hand gesture. Okay, I would like to invite Ibu Bintang, Ibu Retno Marsudi, Ibu Sri Mulyani, Ibu Yesi De Yusatya, Ibu Rinawati Prihatiningsih, Ibu Eko Noviarianti, Ibu Uli Silalahi, dan Ibu Dian Siswarini. Madams, kindly, we have to do the W sign for a photo op on my count. Ibu Sri Mulyani, can I see your W for women, not for whatever? This is for women. Okay, on my count, 3, 2, 1. One more time for good luck. 3, 2, 1. Madam, thank you very much. And now, please welcome Her Excellency Ibu Sri Mulyani, Minister of Finance of the Republic of Indonesia, also a prominent woman leader in her respective field in the global stage. Excellency will deliver a presentation on women's economic resilience in the COVID-19 pandemic. Ibu Sri Mulyani, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much for the time. Ibu Bintang Puspayuga, the Minister for Women Empowerment and Child Protection of Indonesia. My dear colleague, Ibu Retno Marsudi, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Republic of Indonesia. Dear Ambassador and other panelists from the G20 countries, as well as the representative of the W20 and G20 Empower distinguished speaker, as well as participant. Very good afternoon to all of you. For those of you who's in this zone, for those of you from the different zone, maybe in a different time. I would like to first express my sincere appreciation to the Ministry for Women Empowerment and Child Protection, as well as KOWANI, the Indonesia Women Congress, Indonesia Women Entrepreneur Association or IWAPI, as well as XL Axiata Terbuka, for having this event and inviting me as one of the speakers. This event, as mentioned by Ibu Puspayoga as well as the MC, is part of our G20 presidency, which is an honor for all of us as an Indonesian to serve as a host as well as a presidency for this very important forum that is G20. I feel very happy and honored to be invited in this W20 or Women 20 and G20 Empower Working Group. You all understand that the pandemic is still with us, and economic empowerment of women is very fundamental for our recovery, especially with our theme, Recover Together, Recover Stronger. Women participation are critical to fostering a resilient, sustainable, and viable economic as well as on a society. We also see the role of the Women 20 and G20 Empower to promote women economic empowerment is becoming very critical for all of us to be able to mobilize all sources of growth in order for us to be able to recover together, recover stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, from the economic point of view, investing in human capital is definitely very important for the future of any economies or nation. Women, as mentioned by Ibu Puspayoga, makes up half of our population. So gender equality is not only good from what you call it moral point of view, but it is also smart and correct from the economic strategic objective. The role of women is the key in promoting a common welfare for all. At the family level, women have the opportunity to participate in the economy as well as, in this case, as a mother who responsible for the quality of their children, which is very critical for continuation as well as sustainability for any nation or country. So in this case, for a woman to have an equality, is it not about whether they have the right to be equal, but this is also to provide room for them to be able to grow in their optimal level and to also create empowerment and capacity as a mother, as a woman, as well as an entrepreneur. For a country who value girls as well as women as much as boys and men, and if they also invest in health, education, and skill training equally for men and women, girls and boys, the benefit that will be enjoyed will be beyond those individual girls and women, but it will also enjoy by the next generation, that is their children, family, as well as community, society, as well as the country at large. We are all already familiar with the study from McKinsey, which is finding that 12 trillion US dollar or 11% of the global GDP could be added if the world and all countries advancing women equality. While if we fully realize the potential of women, especially in the economy and labor market, then we are going to be able to potentially add 28 trillion US dollar or 26% of the world GDP by 2025. So the upside and the benefit is so obvious. But certainly we are all recognized that the gender equality is not yet here. Studies showing that from World Economic Forum, it will take almost 100 years for the world to be able to reach equality from the gender perspective. So it's a long way to go for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, we also know that this COVID and pandemic has an asymmetric impact for a woman. There has been a lot of program and initiative globally to help in promoting gender equality. But at the same time, we also see that this COVID, which is mainly a health challenge, but then have the implication on a social and economy, have a much, much bigger impact for a woman. Why? Because women account for 20% of health and social worker. That's why with this pandemic, the risk is higher for women to be infected. It's only because proportional of the population, 70%, which is higher than men on those health and social area. Women in this case is also hit harder by the economic impact of COVID-19. Why? Because they are, again, mostly dominated in the informal sector, insecure labor market, which hit harder or disproportionately because of this COVID. COVID, usually when the case increasing, then a country will impose lockdown or restriction. And that's why the economic activity which is hit harder is the informal sector or insecure labor market, dominated by especially women. We see 60% of women work in this informal sector. So when the COVID increase, it will have again a much harder impact for a woman. Pandemic also disrupting education activity. With the closure of school and daycare center, the pandemic has placed bigger pressure on women to address the increased demand for childcare and also other domestic work on top of their own job responsibility. It has increased even further the disproportion in the domestic workload division between men and women, and also create a challenge for women to achieve work-life balance. Lockdown, for example, has also increased violence, domestic violence against women and girls. In some countries, domestic violence increased by even 30%. For the poor, the closure of school not only disrupting the children education, but also increased the probability for them to drop out from the school altogether. In a patriarchal society in which girls' education usually deemed or perceived as less important than boys, girls are more likely to be pulled out from school and put to work and care for younger siblings. Or even worse, a young girl could be also married because of the family economic need. So these are all the dimensions which is not symmetric or proportional between men and women within this pandemic situation. So how we could do to support this situation? As women get disproportionately impacted by the pandemic, we should put our policy with the perspective of gender equality. Indonesia has already implemented many of our social assistance and support. They are all implemented with the gender lens and gender perspective. I'll give you one example. Family Hope Program or Program Keluarga Harapan. 10 million families. This is from the lower income. They are all supported by direct payment by the government to the individual family. But the beneficiary, we usually requiring it should be a woman head of household. It's not to be transferred to the male household member. This year, we allocated 28.3 trillion rupiah, 28.3 trillion rupiah within our fiscal year for us to be able to support this woman, especially based on the composition of the family, whether they have the toddler, grandmother, or in this case, a woman, as well as a pregnant woman, so that we want to make sure that this family will get the minimum support from the government. Within the Family Hope Program, which is actually has already started or launched since 2007, we put additional 25% increase annual payment for this 10 million family. We also revised or changed the payment from 3 monthly to become monthly so that it will provide more cash for this family. We also expanding the number of family which is included in this family program or Hope Family Program. And on the economic empowerment program, the government also launched an economic support during this hardship of pandemic. We provide small and medium enterprises, mostly women entrepreneur, through many schemes. First, the program we call it Mekar. In Indonesia, we call it Mekar. In English, you can call it Blooming. This is a program to support women entrepreneurs at the very small micro level. We also have another program, we call it UMI, Ultra Micro Program. This UMI is in Arabic, means mother. This is again, we are providing more than 5.8 million people, women entrepreneur, with a small credit with the interest rate subsidized by the government. During this situation of the COVID, we increase support for this woman entrepreneur at the very grassroots level. Our economic recovery program, which this year dedicated for the small medium enterprises, which is again beneficiary dominated by women, reached 162.4 trillion rupiah. We also, in this case, still providing additional support. For example, at the village level, we convert the village fund into direct payment for the family. Again, this is also related to the objective to help family. So for this kind of situation, the Indonesia continue designing the policy with the gender dimension, especially providing affirmative policy or support with the woman as the most important factor because they are suffering differently or more during this pandemic. With all the economic recovery that is now ongoing, we are hit hard by the Delta variant on the third quarter. We do hope that we are going to accelerate our recovery on the fourth quarter. Currently, the open unemployment as well as poverty has already now declined again after suffering from the steep increase due to the COVID last year. The development of Indonesia priority, as President Jokowi mentioned in the opening, is focusing on a human capital and especially the role of women. Human capital development, which is translated into our program priority supported by our budget on education, health, and social protection. This is actually to make sure that the woman will be protected, especially during this hardship. On the other hand, I also just want to underline what the President Jokowi mentioned earlier, that during this pandemic, there is a transformation toward digital marketplace or digital technology play a very important role during this pandemic situation. In order for us to be able to make sure that the population and especially women to be able to continue working in a very productive way, juggling between their family, taking care of their family, but at the same time also still continue to be productive, accessing capital from what I mentioned earlier through many government support program and access to market through the digital marketplace. That's why we need to make sure that the digital infrastructure should be available and built in all places and area in Indonesia, especially the area which is left behind and the poorest one. That's why in the past 3 years, the government of Indonesia, through our budget, dedicate our significant support from our budget for infrastructure, building the digital infrastructure, including satellite, and then we also build the fiber optic and also the station in order for make sure that all villages and all area in Indonesia will be able to connect digitally. We also, within the government policy and the G20, will promote financial inclusion. You are all understand that many of these government program, whether this is a social protection as well as support for the small medium enterprises, which dominated by women entrepreneur, they are all conducted through what you call it financial inclusion program. These are the area which is very critical and become priority on a finance track. There are still a lot of homework that we need to do in order for us to be able to make sure that girls and women will be able to have their maximum potential to develop as well as to contribute in a society and economy. But we are very optimistic in Indonesia that the priority, the right priority, as well as the policy support for women and girls will continue to be strongly supported from top level, our president, cabinet, to the local government. And I do hope within this event, the private sector, the business community will also continue to do their part. So that is maybe my speech to all of you to be able to then share your program, your idea in order for all of us to be able to continue promote gender equality and providing equal opportunity, especially for women and girls, so that they have become the real potential source of growth that can contribute positively, not only for themselves, for their family, but most importantly, for their country and for the world. I wish you all a very successful and productive meeting. Together, we are going to restore and recover the economy so that we can recover together and recover stronger. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Her Excellency Madam Retno LP Marsudi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, to present a keynote speech regarding diplomatic for global gender equality. Ibu Retno, the screen is yours. Kemlu, tolong dibuka audio Ibu Retno.
Yes, test. Is that okay?
We hear you loud and clear, madam.
All right,
Screen is
okay.
yours.
So, well, Minister Bintang Puspayoga, Minister Sri Mulyani, Ambassadors, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a very good afternoon from Jakarta. I just come back from Islamabad, Pakistan, where I attended the extraordinary meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, or OIC Council of Foreign Ministers. The meeting focused on Afghanistan, where economic and humanitarian situation are deteriorating. The plight and suffering of Afghan women are particularly concerning. My message at the OIC meeting was loud and clear. It is very important to respect the right of women and girls in Afghanistan. I firmly believe that women can make significant contribution for a peaceful, stable, and prosperous Afghanistan. Sadly, Afghanistan is not a unique case. Around the world, women bear much of the brunt of conflicts. UN Women reported that women in Palestine and Cox's Bazar are facing increased domestic violence and little access to essential services. But life has not always been easy either for women outside the conflict zones. Women continue to suffer from structural inequalities and growing gaps in access and opportunities to thrive as a productive member of the society. So, what must we do to address these situations? First and foremost, we must change people's mindset. This is not an easy task, I know. We can change this through education, advocacy, and awareness-raising campaign. We must create a platform for women to inspire one another, to push for changes, seize opportunities, and reach for the stars. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, changing the mindset is a start. But to make real impact, we must create an enabling environment, an equal opportunity for women to contribute, as mentioned by Minister Sri Mulyani. This is what Indonesia has been doing at the national, regional, and global levels. At the national level, our National Development Plan contains a commitment on gender equality and women's empowerment. We are committed to increase the number of women in strategic and decision-making levels. At regional and global level, we take pride in advancing women's role as agent of peace, an area traditionally perceived as men's territory. We provide training on women, peace, and security for young diplomats from the region and launch Southeast Asian network of women peace negotiators and mediators to boost women participation in peacemaking process in the region. Indonesia established the Afghanistan-Indonesia Women's Solidarity Network as a platform for experiences sharing on women's contribution in peace building and economy. We also organized training on business planning for Palestinian women in the refugee camps. And beyond the region, we have deployed our women peacekeepers as part of 6 UN missions around the world. We also utilize our recent membership in the UN Security Council to initiate the first ever standalone resolution on women peacekeepers. Colleagues, Indonesia's G20 presidency brings the promise of inclusivity, the empowerment of the poorest and the most vulnerable, including women and girls, will be the focus of our G20 leadership. Our presidency wishes to realize concrete deliverables in 3 priorities areas where women's role is crucial. The first one is health. Women make up around 70% of global health forces. A stronger and better resource global health architecture will better ensure their safety and well-being and facilitate their professional growth. The second one is digital transformation. In many countries, women own a large share of SMEs, and the number in Indonesia is 64%. So, enhanced digital skills and literacy will allow them to scale up their businesses, expand their customer base, and help them become a part of the global value chain. And the third one is sustainable energy transition. Colleagues, various research have shown that women are more responsible users of energy than men. Women's greater involvement in energy sector will accelerate progress toward energy transition and ensure energy sector is more sensitive toward women's needs and rights. So I hope that today's event will be a watershed moment for advancing an inclusive global society where we can all recover together, recover stronger. I thank you very much. Back to you, Ibu.
Now, please welcome from Women 20 and G20 Empower previous presidency from Italy, Ms. Linda Laura Sabadini of W20, followed by from G20 Empower, Ms. Paola Mascaro to deliver their remarks.
I'm very honored to participate at this kickoff meeting of Indonesia. Indonesia is a lovely country. I love the culture. I love the people. I hope to participate to all your events in presence. We are beginning a new trip on the way of the gender equality. It's a long way, but it's important that we start from the power. This is our starting point. I'm sure women are the future of the world, are the future of leadership with their sense of community, team, inclusiveness, care of relationships, determination. Statistics are clear. Women's increased engagement in public decision-making roles, but we are far from equality. The process is very slow. At the current rate of progress, gender equality will not be reached among heads of government until 2150, another 130 years. Women hold about 21% of ministerial positions globally. Only 3 countries have 50% or more women in parliament, and 22 countries are headed by women. This occurs despite their proven abilities as leaders and agents of change and their right to participate equally in democratic governance. Women persist and continue to prove that when they lead, they bring transformative changes to entire communities and the world at large. This is a she session. This is a care crisis. We need women leaders. They know what is better to do. We can change the world. We can improve the world. But be careful. If women don't increase their presence in decision-making places, the situation of our countries, and especially of our democracies, will worsen. We can win. We are strong to win, but we must fight united. Civil society, women of government, and men who believe in gender equality. A radical change is needed. We need a strong investment in the development of empowerment of women since they are girls. Women 20 is fighting for an equal presence of women in decision-making places and for a global plan against gender stereotypes. And this is an aspect very, very important. We need women empowerment. We need mainstreaming. We need a change of paradigm of our organization of the work. We need to develop strong investment in social infrastructures, strong investment in female entrepreneurship, strong investment in education, skill and reskill. Finally, we are sisters. We have to work as sisters. We must be united for our common objective and combat against all cultural resistances. We have to continue the work who began in 2014 with the Brisbane Objective in Australia. Our common objective is to insert new dimensions of gender equality, strengthening the objective of the other presidencies. We are positive. We will inspire innovation and strength. All the best, sisters of Indonesia. Thank you.
A representative from the government and private sector, and dear friends, I'm very honored to take part of this important kickoff event. So thank you for having me and for inviting me. Very few words to share with you all about the G20 Empower that I had the honor and pleasure to chair under the Italian presidency. So I would like to share with everyone my experience under this alliance, and what I can say is that G20 Empower has shown its commitment and passion as a group, as an alliance. And we have been learning from the starting point, so before the Italian presidency, even with the Saudi Arabia presidency, we have been learning that together we can bring tangible results and proof points around the empowerment of women in the private sector. We have also learned as a group that it's important to stay with a few priorities. It's important to put together what we know, our capabilities, our leadership, our knowledge, to make progress in this field. And we had the pleasure to work together as a co-chair under the Italian presidency. So we know each other. I'm now referring to Yessi and Rina. We know each other. We are already a team, and trusting each other, trusting our respective capabilities. And as you know, you have my personal, professional support throughout the Indonesia presidency. You can count on the Italian team to keep going with our activity. We are very much supportive on the priorities that you establish, and it's a journey. As Linda Laura said, it's a journey for everyone. We need to continue our engagement, our effort on this area. And again, good luck. I wish you all the best under your presidency, and for sure you can count on me and on the Italian team. Thank you.
We would like to express our gratitude to all the speakers who have joined us today. And here are the co-chairs of W20 and G20 Empower Indonesia.
Hi, I'm Yessi Osetia, Chairwoman of G20 Empower, an alliance between private sectors and government that has a special focus in accelerating women's leadership and empowerment across the G20 countries.
I'm Rinawati Prihatiningsih. My soul sisters and brothers call me Rina, the co-chair of G20 Empower Indonesia Presidency.
This year, I am the government representation for G20 Empower. I encourage multi-stakeholder collaboration to realize gender equality, especially in private and public sector.
Hi, I'm Hadriani Ulitur Ida Silalahi. As the chairwoman of Women 20, I aim to eradicate discriminatory policies that impairs women's participation in the economy and ensure economic inclusion for women.
Hi, I'm Dian Siswarini. As the co-chair of Women 20 and someone who works in the telecommunication industry, I believe technology is a pivotal enabler to increase women inclusivity in achieving a stronger economic recovery.
We welcome you to our presidency.
Recover together, recover stronger.
And now we have brief remarks from the chairs, the co-chairs, and government representative of G20 Empower and W20 Indonesia's presidency. We start with Madam Uli Silalahi, Chairwoman 20. Madam Uli, I think your audio is still off.
Her Excellency Mrs. Bintang Puspayoga, Her Excellency Mrs. Sri Mulyani, Her Excellency Mrs. Retno Marsudi, and fellows W20 and G20 Empower. Excellencies, distinguished guests, fellow gender equality advocates, ladies and gentlemen. Today, 93 years ago, right here, Yogyakarta, an important history among Indonesia women occurred. At the exact date is the beginning of a congress among 30 Indonesian women organizations, which then formed into National Council of Indonesian Women, also known as KOWANI. The congress was held to fight for Indonesian women's rights. 22nd December is officially named as Indonesian Women's Day. It is the greatest symbol of women emancipation and empowerment for Indonesia. We are honored to stand here today as W20 co-chairs Indonesia, joining forces with gender equality advocates in G20 members countries to advocate for gender equality and women empowerment. In face of crisis and uncertainty, it is indeed very challenging, not only for Indonesia and G20 member countries, but across the globe. We are not going to give up in the face of adversity, knowing that women will face setbacks harder than before. Hence, following the official theme of G20 Indonesia presidency, Recover Together, Recover Stronger, we are proud to announce the official theme of W20 Indonesia, Recover Together Equally. We aim to put gender equality and women empowerment at the center of global discussion in the pathway of economic recovery post-COVID-19, while also promoting sustainable development and investment for inclusive growth. In this important meeting today, we would like to extend our thanks extensively and deeply to W20 Italy. We are humbled by the commitment to strategic intervention and recommendation to advance gender equality during G20, especially the historical achievement to initiate the first G20 ministerial meeting on women empowerment. Yesterday, we have received the handover from W20 Italy, and we are beyond grateful. W20 Indonesia certainly has big shoes to fill. We shall continue the work, and we would highlight our effort to work collaboratively with the other engagement groups and working groups to advocate and put women's empowerment and gender equality at the center of G20 leaders' attention. Starting in January, we are going to hold several quarterly hybrid set events taking place in various beautiful locations in Indonesia. Indonesia consists of wonderful islands. We will by holding the events all across Indonesia. We have Batu in East Java, Likupang in North Sulawesi, Banjarmasin, South Kalimantan, and Manokwari in West Papua. We want to show equal effort in gender equality and women empowerment with its various places in Indonesia. We must also inform you that the Grand W20 Summit will take place in 27 until 29 July 2022, located in Lake Toba, North Sumatra. I sincerely hope that everyone will look forward to W20 Summit as it will be another significant milestone for us. With that in mind, I would like to invite Ibu Dian Siswarini, co-chair of W20 Indonesia, to deliver her speech. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's welcome Madam Dian Siswarini, co-chair Women 20.
Excellencies, Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. My highest appreciation to Minister of Women Empowerment, Minister of Finance, and Minister of Foreign Affairs for joining and speaking in our event today. As an Indonesian woman, we are so proud to have them as our ministers. I guess our international colleagues would also agree that those are exquisite women. As Uli said, our theme for W20 2020 is Recover Together Equally. Recover Together Equally is important to ensure that in recovering from pandemic situation and rebuilding our economy, no one is left behind. We must ensure that women are equipped and empowered equally for achieving that inclusivity. Inclusivity that we would like to achieve is across several areas. Government decision-making inclusion, labor inclusion, digital inclusion, financial inclusion, and also education and health care access. As the official women engagement group of G20, Women 20 will continue to ensure that gender equality and women's empowerment is mainstreamed into G20 discourses and reflected into the G20 Leaders Declaration in 2022 as their commitment to promote and further advance global gender equality. Of course, our work in W20 is not focusing only in crafting the communique, but garnering tangible and executable and measurable actions from Indonesia and all G20 member countries through the discussion across W20 events. We need to ensure establishment of bold declaration to gain commitment from G20 leaders on gender equality and the empowerment of women. I agree with Dr. Linda that we must start from a position of power, strength, and resilience, and also sisterhood to work together on our common objective. And by acknowledging the progress that we have made so far by previous presidencies and also variety of challenges that might still exist, especially with the new context of pandemic COVID-19, W20 Indonesia has 4 priority topics as follows. One is eradicating discrimination by promoting equality, safety, and welfare to increase women's participation in economy. This is to ensure that policies are crafted to avoid discrimination that will hinder women inclusivity in economic recovery. The second priority is supporting women in MSME for the embodiment of economic inclusion. For Indonesian context, it is very important because MSME is one of the major supporters of Indonesian GDP, and more than 50% of the owners of MSME are women. And while we all know, as also mentioned by our minister, that women got disproportionate impact from pandemic. The third note is women with disability and rural women as focus addressing vulnerabilities to increase resilience. 4, to respond to gender equitable health. We understand that the orchestration of these 4 topics will sum up to economic impact that we need to achieve that will be reflecting on the contribution to the GDP growth. Hence, our actions needs to be easy to track and measure. And in order to do that, we will use a gender parity score framework by McKinsey, which is our strategic partner, to make sure that all of these issue notes are comprehensively addressing the different GDP improvement levers. The W20 Indonesia will coordinate with Sherpa Track and also working groups as well as other engagement groups such as B20, L20, C20, S20, W20, T20, and also U20 to ensure that proposal of actionable recommendation from W20 are aligned and well orchestrated with other engagement group as well. Indonesian W20 are also collaborating with international knowledge partners, UN agencies, civil society organizations, universities, government bodies, private sectors, and other stakeholders who are experts on gender equality and also women empowerment. I would like to have our partners and also experts and committee members to open their camera for introduction. So first, I would like to introduce Dr. Jiwo Rubianto Wiyogo. She is head of delegation of W20 Indonesia. Second is Ibu Linda Gumelar and Sita Aripurnami. These 2 women are special advisory for W20 Indonesia. And also, I would like to introduce the committee members, Ibu Tantri, Ibu Ayu, Ibu Adelia, Ibu Angel, Ibu Irma, Ibu Yayu, Ibu Isti, Ibu Lisha, Ibu Pru, Ibu Diba, and Ibu Dina. So these ladies will help us in arranging all the discussion and also communication with the other delegates. And in addition to that, we also have our experts here. First is Ibu Yasmin Stambul Wiryawan. She is the expert in building MSME business. And then Ibu Noni Purnomo, Ibu Filia Wibowo from McKinsey, Ibu Dwi Faiz from UN Women, and also Ibu Evi Fitriani from University of Indonesia. So these exquisite ladies are ready to work with their counterparts from all G20 countries delegates. As Bu Uli previously mentioned, January is the starting point of W20 Indonesia. All stakeholders meeting is going to commence in January. So we are looking forward to starting this journey, and we sincerely hope everybody in this room, in this meeting, will support us. So finally, we welcome you all delegates to Indonesia, and we hope that we can have a full offline meeting. If it's not possible, then we will do hybrid meetings. We look forward to meeting and discussing with all of you. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Next is Madam Yesida Yosetia, Chair of G20 Empower Initiative. Ibu Yesi, the screen is yours.
It might take another 100 years to achieve gender equality based on the current progress. In 2020, World Economic Gender Gap. It might take another 100 years to achieve gender equality based on current rate progress, as stated in 2020 World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report. And the situation is now worsened with COVID-19 pandemic. Effort will have to be doubled if we are to avoid losing another 10 years to achieve gender equality across sectors around the world. Bapak Presiden Joko Widodo, our beloved women's ministers, and all our honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to speak to you today at this important event. I'm Yesio Setia, chairwoman of G20 Empower Initiative, accompanied by Ibu Rina from Women's Business Association or IWAPI as the co-chair, and Ibu Ekonofi from the Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection as the Indonesian government representative. We'll share 3 priority issues that will be our focus under Indonesia G20 presidency, reiterating Ibu Bintang's opening speech. G20 Empower will reinforce priority issues from previous presidency by monitoring progress on female leadership in the private sector. G20 Empower will also strengthen priority issues by addressing women in small-medium enterprise and future-ready capacity of women as a nexus of economic recovery. We also commit that our priorities work will contribute to the achievement of Brisbane goal by ensuring to minimize the gap of participation rate between men and women, including supporting 25% of women's employability and labor force, investing in education and training system, as well as improving workplace safety and health. Priority issue 1 is about accountability for private sector in measuring the KPI. Studies indicates that corporations with better average diversity generate 19% more revenue. The Italian presidency has set the foundation of measuring the underlying and crucial factors to progress women leadership roles in private sectors. Therefore, to accelerate changes, the G20 Empower has encouraged private sector's companies that have signed the pledge to measure and disclose G20 Empower KPI in annual basis. We understood the challenges. Therefore, the identification of lessons learned during policy development and implementation to achieve the KPI need to be further explored. It is important for G20 Empower members to assess implementation beyond numbers, including ensuring required enablers are in place. And this will be our focus in 2022. Priority issue 2 is about women in small-medium enterprise as drivers of economic recovery and growth. Women in SME make up a significant portion of global economy. However, COVID-19 is hurting women in small business by lack of funding, lack of confidence, low level of digitalization, and credit gap for women in SME in emerging markets. G20 Empower will focus to bridge private sector's contribution for women in SME. For instance, private sectors are encouraged to enable capacity building to support women in SME through allocation of special CSR funds and support. And on the priority issue 3 is about building a future-ready economy through upskilling and digital enablement. The transition to digitalization has been accelerated by COVID-19, and it's forcing organizations to reimagine their operations through maximizing digitalization. Tackling digital literacy will be a crucial step to empower women economy resilience and improve the broader economy as a result. Therefore, G20 Empower aims to encourage private sectors to boost gender equality efforts, including action plans such as formulating training and capacity building programs for women workforce and communities. Those are three focus areas that G20 Empower initiative will work on, and the timeline will be presented by Ibu Rina and continued by Ibu Ekonofi. Thank you.
Next is Madam Rinawati Prihatiningsih, co-chair of G20 Empower Initiative.
Thank you, Ibu Yesi. Honorable guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Further to discuss these three focus works of G20 Empower, we will conduct three plenary meetings, first in March, second in April, and the third one, July in 2022 through online and hybrid modes of meetings, with all the plenary meetings to be followed by side events. Prior these three plenary meetings, we will have 4 co-chair meetings virtually in January, April, June, and in October 2022. We will also continue to expand the G20 Empower Playbook initiated by the Japanese co-chair to capture more lessons learned and best business practices. Toward the end of our presidency and continuing from what Italy has initiated, we will hold the second ministerial meeting on women's empowerment in Bali on September 29, 2022. We are also committed to holding related national events, which will include capacity building programs for our advocates in order to encourage them to amplify our messages, share their experiences as leaders in women's empowerment initiative in Indonesia, and have our private sector's commitments implemented. We are deeply honored, Paula, to have your support. Looking forward to our collaboration with our co-chairs from Italy, India, Japan, Canada, the representative of G20 Empower Initiative Alliance and guest countries, our knowledge strategic partners, as well as our advocate networks worldwide. Together, towards global recovery from the pandemic, and we are looking forward ahead to a more inclusive, resilient, and prosperous planet.
Last but not least, Madam Eko Noviarianti, Government Representative, G20 Empower Initiative.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. Lastly, I am Ekonofi, representative from the Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection. Want to reiterate our government commitment to this initiative. We are open for input from our partners, especially private sector, and willing to extend our support by developing relevant policy to encourage ethical business practices for women empowerment. We will continue working together with private sectors in collaborative effort to support women empowerment program and activities. We also are committed to expand the number and participation of our advocates to ensure that women empowerment issue can be widely accelerated and promoted in all sectors of industries and business. We believe that this initiative can be successful with the continued synergy, cooperation, and collaboration between all stakeholders involved. Thank you, and we are looking forward to welcoming you to Indonesia in 2022. Wassalamualaikum.
Thank you, madams, and selamat Hari Ibu. And now we come to our final remark from G20 India Presidency 2023 on behalf of Women 20, Dr. Pam Rajput, and followed by representative of G20 Empower, Dr. Sanjita Reddy.
Thank you, Excellencies, delegates, and guests. Greetings to the Indonesian Women 20 Presidency and the entire W20 family. And also I take the opportunity to greet you all on the Indonesian Women's Day. I am honored to be amidst you this afternoon, and thank you W20 Indonesia Presidency for inviting me. Yesterday we had a treat of handover event, and today we have this fabulous event which we are calling as kickoff event with all the high dignitaries. And must I say that their speeches have been reassuring. Friends, I am with you today as part of the Troika. I have nothing much to add except to offer my best wishes and committed support as far as Indian presidency is concerned. More so as Troika member, we are also here for learning and taking the process further when India assumes presidency next year. 22 we are going to start, but our presidency will be in 2023. However, I can't resist saying something in lighter vein. And I was looking at, the dictionary. What does this kickoff event mean? And it says it is to lay the foundation for a successful project. I asked Golden, our first presidency, if she did have any kickoff event. She said, no, we had launch event. But for sure, thereafter, I feel we continue to have the event as a matter of fact, which I can call as continuum event. And of course, with a kickoff of the ball for a pitch prepared by the previous presidencies to the higher heights, scoring more and more goals till we have an even gameplay for humanity and sustainability. The ball is now in the court of Indonesia, and then it will be in the court of India. But together, with support of governments and the stakeholders, we shall continue our renewed. We shall continue with our renewed vigor and strength. And I congratulate W20 Indonesia President for the event today and for beginning their year with a big bang, if I can say that. And it is so assuring to hear not only about the priority that they have set, more than that, what is important is that W20 is being considered as one of the 3 preferred engagement groups. Women 20 commits its full support and assure you of active engagement in all the processes as a continuum of all our collective efforts to realize our W20 vision and mission. I would like to reiterate what I said yesterday. We are fewer here, but we are voices of our sisters back home. We have governments like yours. Your government is committed, so is our government committed to the gender equality and empowerment of women. And we have in India, I feel very proud to say,
very strong and dynamic women's movement and the civil society groups. But the fact remains, we heard Linda Laura saying, and I would like to repeat, the fact remains with all these commitments of gender equality and empowerment of women, there is no country in the G20 group which does not have gender gap. And it is very much reflected in OECD reports, and also reference has been made again and again to the World Economic Forum, which says, with the 2021 report says it will take precisely 135.6 years to attain gender parity. And it is also said that because of this pandemic, we have already, the global cost of this is 70 trillion US dollars. And this also is a fact that, that as far as Indonesia and in India is concerned, the two countries I'm particularly referring to, we are far behind what we call as female labor force participation rate. We have many things to be proud of, but there are certain things which are serious and we have to take note of. So we are far from what we call as our Brisbane goal. And, exactly if you would say that we are very positive, we are having positive vibes from our governments, from our friends, but fact remains that business cannot be as usual. We have to step up, and in that context, you see, it is very important that we go together, we work together, and W20 particularly, I would say, as we move forward with the spirit not only of commitment but also consensus to take forward our priority and focus areas. So we grow stronger in our march forward to our ultimate goal of equality and sharing of power relations. With these words, I congratulate again Indonesia, wish them the best, and assure them of our committed support to them in every respect. Thank you very much.
Hello and namaste. A very, very good evening from India to all women of the G20 Women Empower Group, to all dignitaries, every member present, especially from heartfelt. I'm in women across the G20 countries. I strongly feel as accomplished women, we should inspire women and strengthen women's roles as professionals, as entrepreneurs, as leaders in every capacity, and their impact in every sphere of life can be enhanced. And most importantly, I strongly believe that we do this not just for women's sake, but for the benefit and the betterment of the world at large. Given its key role in the global economy, the G20 has huge potential to deliver on gender equality. And there could be no better opportunity than this to boost the spirit of women professionals and support entrepreneurial skills of women of the G20 nations. Let me begin by saying that the Government of India is committed to promote gender equality in all sectors and all levels of government. In 2005-06, this was supplemented by the adoption of a gender budgeting as a powerful budgetary strategy to advance gender mainstreaming at a national level. India has also made significant progress in the goal of education for all, and particularly to try and achieve universal primary education, which is truly the foundation towards empowerment. Enrollment in primary education is at 93% for girls, and I think this is significant, and in secondary education at 62% for girls, while it's 60% for boys. So where the girls are actually ahead, and in tertiary education, it's at 29% for girls and 27% for boys. So this is just indicative of the progress being made across labor workforce participation, women in legislature, which is about 14%, but inching upwards, senior officials, women as professionals, as technical workers, and all this is represented in the Global Gender Gap Report. I also want to state that we are making a significant emphasis on women in STEM and women in STEM education. I also believe that there are about 8 million micro, small, and medium enterprises with female ownership in India. And these are going to continue to enhance workforce participation, and also the percentage share of female operational landowners has increased, even though marginally the trend is important, that it is moving up to now about 13.9%. But we must continue. And I think our Prime Minister says it very well when he says that we no longer must speak about women development alone, but of national women-led development. And that is truly putting women in the leadership role. Moving to the most important point, I think the G20 countries have committed to reducing the gender gap in labor force participation by about 25%. And this is something that we believe we can do. We also believe that the significant goals of inclusion, reduction of poverty, reduction of inequality are all significant, and that we will play a participative role in this. Our view is that work strategies can really come in 4 prime areas. One is to, of course, reduce to include and ensure gender diversity in the workplace, and also very important to ensure that women return to work post the pandemic. Also to undertake necessary measures to look at suitable, holistic, and a supportive ecosystem for women to enter enterprise and to be entrepreneurial. The third biggest challenge has clearly always been access to finance, and it's important to look at the ability to raise finance. And the fourth is if we can look at digital inclusion, where it's equally important. I want to congratulate my wonderful sisters from Indonesia for their tremendous program over the last 2 days, for their proactive creation of this agenda, and state that we look forward to working closely with them under Indonesia's chairship, and above all to help put together and organize special collaborative programs and to participate in any initiative that they put forward towards the cause of women empowerment, upskilling of women, and all the important agenda points which have been put forward by your chairs and your committee, which we truly endorse and are very happy to work with. I would also like to very briefly state that we are running a large program called Empowering the Greater 50 as a FICCI Flow initiative, and this organization will be happy to work with you. And also, being a healthcare person, I request a special emphasis on women in the healthcare workforce and the health of women in the population as a whole. Our target is to really bring together the largest number of women to support women and to correct operational, legal, infrastructure gaps. Towards this, we have built a report called A Call to Action for the Greater 50. This is a knowledge report which talks about governance, measurement, reporting, auditing of commitments, and various actions to enhance gender parity and equity in the workforce. I have forwarded this set of recommendations, and I hope in some small way it will be useful. I look forward to continuing to stay in touch with you as we look to truly enhance the world through our collaborative effort of empowering women. I want to very briefly and last state that I was also in the leadership of the BRICS Women's Alliance. And when we read of the World Economic Report and the fact that it would potentially take 130 years, we said only one thing: we cannot wait. Women cannot wait. We will not wait. So with this, let me congratulate you. Let me commit on behalf of women of India. Thank you for this opportunity and wish you the very, very best. Namaste.
And now I would like to invite all of the representatives from each country to show your support for Indonesia's G20 Presidency 2022. Participants, I kindly ask you to raise your hand. And heads up, we only prepare 1 minute. Again, it's only 1 minute for each speaker. Okay, do I see a raising hand over here? Please kindly raise your hand. I see someone from Japan, Madam Michiko Achilles from G20 Empower Japan. Madam, the screen is yours. Oh, I think it's blackout now, the screen. So let's move on to Australia. Chantel Stratford, Acting First Assistant Secretary, Office for Women from Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet from Australia. Madam Stratford, the screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to add my support to the efforts of G20 Empower. We know that women have been disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we also know that enhancing women's economic empowerment is crucial to achieving a strong, sustainable and inclusive recovery. The G20 has a key role to play in these efforts to ensure the disproportionate impacts of the pandemic on women do not become entrenched. We commend Indonesia's continued focus on women's empowerment, including through the good work of the Empower Alliance. It will be an invaluable source of advice as we work together on an inclusive recovery from COVID-19. Australia was pleased to see last year that G20 leaders recommitted to implementing the Brisbane Roadmap to reduce the gender gap in labour force participation by 25% by 2025. With only a few years left until the deadline, we look forward to working together towards this shared goal over the coming year. In closing, I'd like to wish a happy Mother's Day to all Indonesian mothers today. Australia also wishes G20 Empower all the best for 2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is, let me see the big screen again. Guys, we put on the big screen from the Netherlands? From G20 Empower Netherlands, Madam Margaret Suteman Rehan. Madam Margaret, are you here? Hi. Yes, the screen is yours, Madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you first and foremost to Italy for doing a fantastic job the past year. Good luck to Indonesia. Fantastic first session. Thank you for the excellencies and the ambassadors' presence today. It underscores the importance. I hope that together we can actually move from thought leadership the next year further to action leadership, make things happen, really make the difference for people who are counting on us. A lot of women around the globe are counting on us in SMEs, in remote areas, in agricultural areas, etc. And last but not least, I hope that we can all judge ourselves in 2022. We often judge others on impact, and sometimes we judge ourselves on intentions. I hope that all of us will start to judge ourselves also on impact, so that we can make the change for everybody who needs it. Look forward again to cooperate with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Asia. I see South Korea. From Minakang Women 20, South Korea. Madam, the screen is yours.
W20 Indonesia for taking your first meaningful step on this historical journey. The COVID-19 pandemic has been the defining challenge of our generation. And unfortunately, but surely, the pandemic will affect our future for a long time. Nevertheless, more so than any other time, it is our opportunity and duty to strengthen our togetherness and turn the costly lessons of this pandemic into a united drive to build a more inclusive, resilient, and sustainable future for all. We should not let the COVID-19 to frustrate much of our hard-won progress toward gender equality. I'm sure that next year around this time, we will be celebrating and praising the accomplishment by the Indonesia team for your relentless efforts to achieve our goal of gender equality. The pandemic may continue to limit us, but we will overcome it together by being there for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. And next we have from Russia, Elena Marinina from Women 20 Russia. Do we have Madam Elena Marinina? I think we should move on to the next one from Turkey.
I'm
Golden.
sorry,
Oh,
probably
okay. I
if
see
we
you. I
have
see
a
you. Yes, the
question.
screen is yours.
I'm not Helena Marina. I'm Victoria Panova, the head of delegation Sherpa for Russia, Women 20. This is really great to be here for this event. I'd like to congratulate Indonesia for such a powerful start. We all know that we've been affected much more by COVID-19 pandemic, and I think Women 20 has done a really huge effort in order to go over the problems that women all over the world have ran into, from financial problems to gender-based violence, which was, as rightly said earlier, rose greatly at the time of the pandemic, from entrepreneurship to work-life balance. And we have done, as you know, this year, the third Eurasian Women Forum. And we had the pleasure and honor to see most of our ladies here from Women 20, both online and offline, and included Ms. Uli and Ms. Diane, and we really are looking forward to joining our efforts in order to offer recommendations for the G20 leaders, but also offer practical results for our women in the G20 countries and beyond to be solving problems that COVID-19 pandemic have brought into it. So congratulations, Indonesia, for such a powerful start, and please count on us for everything with this year ahead. Thanks again.
Thank you, Madam Victoria Panova. Next is Madam Golden Turktan from Women 20 Turkey. Madam, can you unmute? Yes.
I wish good luck to Indonesia. Very impressive, very powerful start. We must continue this powerful work, and we are here to help you from Turkey, always with you. Good luck.
Thank you. And next, from USA, Virginia Littlejohn from Women 20 USA. Can you unmute your screen, madam?
Congratulations, Indonesia, on Indonesian Mother's Day and also this amazing event. The United States is so excited about participating in this year's W20. I look forward to working closely with you on women's economic empowerment, MSMEs, and women's entrepreneurship as a cross-cutting issue that will create better lives, better communities, and better families, better economies for all of us. Thank you so much, and we'll do anything we can to help.
Thank you, Madam Virginia Littlejohn from Women 20 USA. And then we have more from Italy. Let's hear from Italy. We have Signora Margita Rogato. Martina, apology because my prompter is not updated. So, Madam Martina Rogato, the screen is yours. While we're waiting for you to connect, I would like to tolong kerjasamanya dari control room supaya di unmute juga, jadi tidak mengganggu perjalannya acara. Martina, the screen is yours.
Maksudnya penyiar gitu loh.
Well, looks like we're having a technical glitch with Martina Rogato. I guess I can invite anyone who wants to raise their hands to show their support. Raise your hand to show your support for Indonesia's G20 presidency. Yes, we see a hand in the middle. Guys in the control room, can you pick the lady, the lovely lady in the middle? Oh, Martina is back. Screen is yours, Martina.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Hope you can hear me because I'm traveling through Italy. Congratulations to the G20 Indonesia presidency for this outstanding start, and good luck to our Indonesian colleague, Ibu Dian, Ibu Uli. Italy is at your disposal to support you to this W20 path. Hope we can continue empowering women, creating jobs, decent and quality jobs, and valorizing digital and environmental sustainability success.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Martina Rogato. Unfortunately, we're having a signal issue here. We have from Korea. From Korea, Madam Kum Jo-ho. Yes, the screen is yours, madam.
From Korea.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. I represent Empower Korea, and I'm also with the W20. I wish to take the opportunity to extend my sincerest congratulations to the Indonesian team for this meaningful and impactful event. I think it's also very meaningful that today we have both the W20 and the Empower working hand in hand. And I think with our collaborated energies and aspirations, we can not only realize the Brisbane goal, but go even beyond to create a better world for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Guys over at the control room, do we still have the time or we wrap up? Do we still have the time for one more speaker? Yes, we still have the time for one more speaker. Please raise your hand and we will pick one of the loveliest women over here, this global sisterhood. Do I see anyone raising their hand? We have Miss Evelyn. Hi, yes, the screen is yours.
Hi, my name is Evelyn de Gruyter from Germany. I'm representing W20 Germany, and I'm very impressed by this event today, and I'm really looking forward to meet you all in Indonesia. Good luck for the presidency. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam. We also look forward for all of you to come to visit Indonesia for the G20 meeting. Thank you once again, but still, please still be with us because we still have a performance, a traditional dance performance by Mitra Seni Indonesia. This Mitra Seni was established 15 years ago by Mr. Sanyoto Sastrowardoyo and now led by Madam Sari Sanyoto. With more than 876 members, MSI is committed to preserve Indonesian traditional art and culture. MSI has been collaborating with art communities in the global stage. Please welcome traditional dance performance by MSI.
girl became a woman on the long and dusty road. I met you, I saw you, I wish I ever met her. I am Australian, we are one, but we are ready, and from all the lands on earth we come, we share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia. My medali Indonesia, selalu bisa dipika dipika selaku sesama layakan pangkasih perwawatina manuk dadali manuk pangkana nama sapi Indonesia Jaya manuk dadali caranya
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome another performance now from Association Kolintang Indonesia or Pingkan, led by Mrs. Penny Marsetio, playing one of Indonesia's traditional instruments, kolintang. And kolintang is in the process to be registered as UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage. Please welcome Pingkan.
When I was a little baby, mama would rock me in a cradle in the mood. Cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texas, Canada. In the mood, cotton fields back home. Oh, when those cotton balls get rotten, you can be very much cotton in the mold. Cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texas, Canada. In the mold, cotton fields back home. When I was a little baby, mama would rock me in a cradle in the mold. Cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texas, Canada. In the mold, cotton fields back home. Oh, when those cotton balls get rotten, you can be very much cotton in the mold. Cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texas, Canada. In the mold, cotton fields back home. In the mold, cotton fields back home. si patokaan matigo-tigo golokan sayang 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 si patokaan matigo-tigo golokan sayang sako mangemo antana jauh mangemo mile reklako sayang sako mangemo antana jauh mangemo mile reklako sayang 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 si patokaan matigo-tigo golokan sayang 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 si patokaan matigo-tigo golokan sayang sako mangemo antana jauh mangemo mile leklako sayang sako mangemo antana jauh mangemo mile leklako sayang Tuan dan Nyonya Sinyo-sinyo dan Noni kami sudah berhenti besok main lagi Tuan dan Nyonya Sinyo-sinyo dan Noni kami sudah berhenti besok dansa lagi Tuan dan Nyonya Sinyo dan Noni kami ini sudah berhenti Tuan dan Nyonya Sinyo dan Noni besok main lagi besok main lagi besok main lagi.
Before I bid farewell, I would like to invite Madam Uli Silalahi, Madam Dian Siswarini, Madam Yesi De Yosetia, Madam Rinawati Prihatiningsi, and Madam Eko Novi Arianti to deliver their thank you for the audience who have participated here with us for the past 2.5 hours. Ladies, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much. First, thank you very much to the team that have prepared this event.
Thank you for all. Thank you, Italy. Thank you, US. Thank you. Thank you, Italy. Thank you, US. Thank you, UK. And all Korea and Russia. Cannot see.
Thank
Japan,
you.
Turkey.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
It means
everyone.
a lot to us, all your support, and really looking forward to our corporation collaboration in 2022.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
And please give a
Thank
big
you
round
for
of
all.
applause to the all team who have put a big effort to make this
Thank you
event
all.
happen. Predominantly ladies team over here. Thank you for your participation and support for G20 Women Empowerment Kickoff Meeting. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, all the gents as well. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Adini Effendi signing out. See you on the next event. Good evening from Jakarta.